Welcome to the deep dive. So think about your day for a second, that sequence of things you do, maybe almost on autopilot.
Yeah, those daily routines.
Exactly. Today, we're looking closely at that. We're diving into the daily routines of two people, Jennifer and Daniel, from the English Leap podcast.
Right. And it's really fascinating how these structures, these kind of invisible frameworks for our time can impact our focus, our energy.
Our whole sense of well-being, really.
Absolutely. Understanding how they're built can give us some real insights for our own lives.
For sure. So we've got the transcript where Jennifer and Daniel talk about their mornings, afternoons, and evenings. And our goal here isn't just to list what they do.
No, we want to dig a bit deeper.
Yeah, we want to pull out the core ideas, the why behind how they structure their time.
So we'll be looking at what's similar, what's different, how they've kind of personalized things. And the big question we're asking, really for you listening, is what can we learn from Jennifer and Daniel's daily rhythms that might help you shape your own?
Okay, let's jump in. Mornings first.
Mm.
Jennifer, she wakes up at 7 a.m.
Okay.
and the first thing she does is stretching and breathing. It sounds like a way to, get centered before everything else starts.
Yeah, not just waking up the body, but the mind too, maybe?
Seems like it. Then it's the usual brushing teeth, washing face. After that, a light breakfast. She mentions oatmeal or toast for energy.
Light breakfast, okay.
And finally, she gets organized, checks emails, looks over her to-do list, so she kind of knows what the day holds.
What jumps out at me with Jennifer's morning is how proactive it feels. That stretching and breathing. It's not just jumping into tasks.
Right.
It suggests she's thinking about that mind-body link, starting calm.
Mm-hmm.
And the light breakfast is interesting too, maybe avoiding that, sugar rush and crash.
Could be. Now, Daniel's morning, it starts a bit earlier, 6:30 a.m. He says it's because of his work schedule.
Makes sense.
His very first move. A glass of water. Simple, but probably pretty effective for hydrating.
Oh yeah, crucial. Often overlooked.
Then he does the same hygiene routine teeth face. Breakfast for him is a bit more substantial. Eggs and toast, or sometimes a smoothie.
Okay, so a bit more fuel there.
Yeah. And his organization step is checking his class schedule, making sure he's ready for what's coming up.
So the contrast is pretty clear. Daniel's earlier start kind of dictates a different flow. That immediate hydration is a great point.
Definitely.
And his slightly bigger breakfast might be tied to needing that energy to last longer, maybe for a tougher start to the workday.
That makes sense. So looking at them together, similarities are there. The hygiene part, feeling refreshed. And both have some kind of planning, Jennifer with her list, Daniel with his schedule. The main differences seem to be wake-up time and breakfast choices, driven by their different lives, really.
Exactly. And that highlights a key thing, doesn't it? Good routines aren't cookie cutter. They have to fit your needs, your circumstances. Jennifer wants that calm start. Daniel needs hydration and energy right away for work.
Okay, let's shift to the afternoon. For Jennifer, this is study time. Classes are hitting the books. She mentions focusing on one thing at a time.
Smart. Avoiding overwhelm.
Yeah. And she specifically talks about taking short breaks to stretch, move around, especially during long study sessions to stay, mentally fresh.
That's really important. Those little breaks aren't just fluff. They actually help your brain process things and refocus.
And her lunch, light again, salad or a sandwich. She says it's to avoid feeling sluggish afterwards.
That dreaded afternoon slump.
Right. And she tries to tackle the bigger assignments when she still feels pretty energetic.
Jennifer's afternoon really shows that science of keeping your attention going. Those breaks, the light lunch, it's all geared towards optimizing that study time.
Daniel's afternoon sounds like his busiest time. Meetings, project work.
Peak work time.
Yeah. But like Jennifer, he stresses taking short breaks too. Stretch, grab a snack. He calls it recharging.
Reset, yeah.
His lunch is also light quinoa salad, turkey sandwich, that kind of thing. Specifically mentions avoiding the mid-afternoon energy dip.
Smart. So many people struggle with that.
And his focus. Getting those key projects done. He uses the phrase knock them out while he's still feeling productive.
It's really striking how, even though one's a student and one's working, they've kind of landed on similar strategies for the afternoon.
Totally.
The breaks, the light meals.
Yeah.
It points to this universal need to manage energy and stay focused when things get demanding. And Daniel's knocking out projects, that's about using your peak mental time effectively.
So the big themes for their afternoons seem to be energy management,
Definitely.
food, and breaks. And staying focused, they both seem quite aware of their own, internal clocks.
Precisely. It's not just about working hard. It's about working smart, managing your resources, physical and mental, to get the most out of those hours.
All right, let's see how they wrap up the day. Evening routines. Jennifer, after her classes, she wants to relax.
Shift gears.
Yeah. Simple dinner pasta with veggies, a rice bowl, then maybe a short walk or some light stretching to de-stress. Sounds like a nice transition.
Mm-hmm. Helps let go of the day.
Then the hygiene routine again. And before bed, reading a book or having some herbal tea. She's consciously avoiding things that might keep her awake. Bedtime is around 10 p.m. for her. Needs that rest.
That's a really well-designed wind down. The activity after dinner, the calming things before bed like reading, the herbal tea, it's all signaling to her body, okay, time to prepare for sleep.
Which is vital, right?
Right.
For learning, for well-being.
Daniel's evening is similar, focused on relaxing after work.
Mm-hmm.
He might listen to music or go for a walk.
Unwinding.
Dinner for him is around 7 p.m. Simple but satisfying grilled salmon, stir fry. Then his hygiene routine, which he calls a kind of reset button.
I like that description. A reset button. Mentally finishing the day.
Yeah. And leading up to his bedtime, around 10:30 p.m., he also avoids screens, reads or listens to music instead, trying to minimize that blue light, I guess. Absolutely. And what's so clear with both of them is this idea of creating a boundary, a separation between the day's busyness and the night's rest.
Right.
They're actively choosing relaxing activities and avoiding stimulating tech before sleep. That reset button idea from Daniel is powerful.
Yeah.
It's a mental cue as much as a physical one.
So their evenings really emphasize relaxation, disconnecting, creating calm before bed, aiming for consistent sleep. Slightly different bedtimes, but probably just tailored to what they each need.
Exactly, and it reinforces that idea that a good, productive day often starts the night before with decent sleep. By prioritizing this wind down, they're really investing in their energy for tomorrow.
So wrapping this all up, looking at Jennifer and Daniel, some clear themes emerge. The value of starting the morning with intention.
Right, setting the tone,
Having focused afternoons, but with those essential breaks.
managing that energy.
And then evening is really designed for unwinding and setting up good sleep.
And crucially, these aren't rigid rules everyone has to follow, right? They're just examples of how two people adapted routines to fit their own lives, their own goals. There's flexibility there.
Exactly. The big takeaway isn't about copying them step by step. It's more about understanding the principles. Consistency helps. Managing your energy through the day is key. And even small habits can make a big difference in feeling, more balanced and in control.
Which leads us to a final thought, maybe for you listening. Thinking about Jennifer and Daniel's days, their structure. Is there one small thing, one tiny change you could perhaps experiment with in your own routine?
Yeah, maybe it's adding a mindful moment in the morning. Or it's scheduling a proper break in the afternoon.
Or maybe it's about that pre-bed ritual, putting the phone away a bit earlier. Just something to think about. How could their examples spark an idea for your daily rhythm to make it feel a little more balanced, a little more effective for you?